Hi, my name's Aaron Young and I study fashion marketing at Leeds Beckett University. Today I'm going to be talking to you about my interpretation of some marketing myths. Now, this is completely subjective, so you're entitled to agree or disagree with some of my points made. And the first myth we're going to be talking about is a big name brand can sustain a high price, and the other one is a satisfied customer is a loyal customer. Now, I'm going to relate these to real life situations and real businesses to agree with my points, and I'm going to say why these points would not work and why it might not work in a real business situation if they were used. So the first myth I'm going to be talking about is a big name brand can sustain a high price. So this will depend on how the company is perceived and the position in the marketplace, whether they're a luxury brand or a low-end brand. So technology is at the forefront of everything these days, and this includes business and leisure as well. So this means companies need to be more transparent with how they work in the business world, and customers have higher knowledge and more power because they can just go on the internet and research something, and 9 times out of 10 they can find it. So the market is not dictated anymore by the company, and the customer is at the heart of all the business decisions as well. Also, because of how easy it is to set up a business these days, because of how cheap it is and that you can just do it over the internet with very low startup cost, it means there's hundreds of other ideas out there and a lot more customer choice. So the competition can just undercut you with price at any time in the year, and a lot of people's motivation in terms of products are the price of the product. Take Primark for example. They have over 300 stores in over 11 countries, and their orientation is stack 'em high, sell 'em cheap, which is production, and this is how they gain so much power in the market from operating like this. But if they decide to change their price and focus more on products, this would mean it would change a lot of things for them. They'd have to restructure their business, and they'd have to spend a lot of money and time on research to find out what their customers want and how they'd be able to sustain this high price. And they'd have to train the staff to have the knowledge of what the actual products are, and they'd need better materials for the clothing as well. And their current branding is cheap, and they would lose that, which they've built over many years to gain that, and it becomes something which is bad for them because of people wouldn't believe that they'd be able to go from being such a cheap brand to selling expensive clothes, and the customers won't buy into it. Their orientation would change to marketing as well from production, and they'd also maybe have to change their suppliers because of this as well to get good quality clothing that the customers want. And it would also have a direct effect on who their actual target market is. So they might be targeting the early adopters now rather than the laggards, because they've changed the price and the laggards are not willing to pay that amount of money for the clothes, whereas the early adopters do. And if Primark were to do a pestle analysis as well, it would help them realise that the change in price would not be worth it, and what they do as a company currently, which is stack 'em high, sell 'em cheap, they're the market leaders for that, and it's best that they stay in the position they are. And if they took a look at the macro and micro environment as well, in terms of the competition, there's a lot of competition which sell mid-range clothing price, like Topman and Zara, and they wouldn't be able to compete no matter how much money they had to spend on research and how big the brand is. Now, the second myth is a satisfied customer is a loyal customer, which has been true in the past, but there's a few reasons why it isn't anymore. The first one is because it used to be the fact that big corporations dominated the market and that there wasn't much competition for customers to go to, but because of the internet, people have a lot more choice these days and can pick and choose between brands very easily. And the CEO of IBM famously said, "The total market for computers worldwide is 5, and that's how many we're going to sell." And this was when computers were first started out, like, for the market. And currently there's around 40% of the world population that actually owns a computer, according to internetlivestats.com. And culture and technology has made this change possible and made computers more available for people, rather than just having these 5 customers. There's now millions of people who can buy a computer. And it's not just for the government's use, so the markets are always changing and the consumers are always changing as well. So to bring it back to the point of why a satisfied customer is not a loyal customer, is in the computer market, there was only a few brands that were making computers, and obviously only one that made the first computer. But fast forward to 2016, there's loads of companies like Samsung, Apple Macs, Dell's, HP, all making computers, meaning there's a lot more customer choice for computers. So people will pick and choose between these brands depending on a lot of different factors like price, whether they can afford it, or the style of the computer and the actual interface. And there's loads of specs that people are constantly looking at to help them choose why they choose these products as well. Also reinforcing the fact that people aren't loyal these days and look for the best price for the most amount of product they can get. Another point to be made is customers sometimes don't realise they want something until it's actually invented. An example of this is Beats. They took a product that was just lying about and people didn't really pay much attention to, which was headphones, and gave them style and quality. And usually people just use the headphones that came with their phone, whereas now people will be paying £100 plus to buy these products that they usually wouldn't even pay money for before. And Apple realised this in 2015 after Beats growing over this 7-year period, and decided to buy Beats for £1 billion, which is 30 days cash flow. Also, when the brand exceeds the customer expectation as well and has a USP and has like little added perks, it'll make the customer switch brands as well, even if they are satisfied with their past brand. For example, in streetwear, brands like Supreme and Palace give little add-ons, like they give free stuff away with their clothes, like just little stuff like stickers and beach balls and things like that. And that makes the customer want to spend the money with them rather than competition like Stussy. And also when the brand has personality as well, it means that the customer resonates with it and would rather buy from them than the competition as well. And this is really important to their customers, especially in streetwear. To conclude, myths come and go in 2016 so much because of how much technology is involved in every aspect of life and how much the internet has changed the world. This changes the product life cycle and the speed of innovation. Because of the internet, a lot more people can get their ideas out easier, meaning there's more competition for you to compete against. And the customer is smarter and has more scope on what's going on in the marketplace. And there's a lot more simple innovation that changes the whole marketplace and the structure of doing things in new exciting ways. Thanks for watching. My name's Aaron Young, and this is my interpretation of marketing myths.